All right, so we have some important stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to get into the Grammys a little bit later and talk about all that stuff, but I wanted to start with a fundraiser that we're doing for our friend David Childers. Ryan, you are like spearheading this whole thing. So let's go into the details and talk about what's coming up. It's going to be launched soon, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've been working on this for a little while behind the scenes. I guess if you don't know, well, we want you to join the Childers crew. So the idea here is we want to help our dear friend David Childers, who's fighting cancer right now. Um, it's a hard thing to go through, and he needs our help. Um, he's very strong guy, but I mean, this is something that we need to rally around with him and his wife Linda. And we just thought, you know what, we had an idea, honestly, right around the time of right around Christmas. David is a musician, of course, singer, songwriter, musical family. Really, his son Robert's in the band as well. In the Serpents. And so they
He's about 100
performed.
bands, but
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right about that. If everybody should go back and watch the Robert episode from a few weeks ago, and try to
good
count the
stuff.
number of bands he's in. Um,
And he was just
I
scratching the
honestly,
surface.
you know what? This is a tangent, but David's been in a lot of bands too. He loves to name bands, so I think it's in the family.
Definitely,
And the Modern
definitely.
Don Juans and the Over Mountain Men that had Bob
Mm,
Crawford in it, and like
yep,
there's been several iterations of David's band, and even like with this new gospel album, which you and I talked about with Robert.
love
They
it.
invented another band out of the crew
Yep,
that put that record together. So,
the Satan
um,
You're Liars.
so
Good
we're
stuff.
putting together a crew here, y'all. We're putting together our own band. We're calling it the Childers Crew, and the reason for that is, going back. The short story here is the hats like Todd and I are wearing here. The foam sort of party hat here, kind of inspired by the band dolls, which we'll talk about later on our Grammy segment. But it's kind of like the foam party hat. We put vinyl letters on here, and this sort of started a couple years ago. Actually, my wife and I started making these just to take the Avett shows, and a lot of you out there probably in Avett land, have gotten one of these, or you might wear it. But then it extended into us making them for David and his band at the unofficial Avid fans fundraiser for Press on Fun, a couple years ago, because he's performed several times for that charity, given his time to do that. And so this year, when we wore some of the hats during that function at Amos South End, that was organized again this year, the night before New Year's Eve, um, it really like struck a chord because in a way that concert was kind of like a moment where a lot of people, had found out that he's battling this, and I think a lot of people saw the hats and were like, "Hey, man, well, you know, they didn't actually say, "Hey, man," but a lot of people were interested in maybe getting their hands on some Childers merch, and so we thought, hey, let's make it a fundraiser for David because he needs our
Well,
help.
after that hat made it to Scott Avett, that where he was wearing the Childers Crew hat on stage, I think
Yeah,
that also touched it off where people are like, I'd like to get my hands on one of those.
right.
Scott was wearing
Well,
it. I want to
great
wear it
point.
too.
Great point. That was a moment, and that touched a lot of people, David included. But I think you're right. You're right. I mean, it's cool. So these were a fun little hobby for us. Now we want to turn it into a good cause, and we want everybody's help. So we want you to join the Childers Crew. So what are we going to do here? We are going to make some Childers Crew hats, of course. So, but we're going to upgrade them a bit. So I
Fancy
think
ones,
I
yes.
know you're excited about this because
I
what we're
am.
going to do is actually we're going to make a patch. So instead of vinyl, we're going to make like a legit patch, and I want to show you the design here in a moment.
Show that
Let me let
design.
me let me
Get
let me pull
excited.
this up. Yeah, let's get excited. So we basically took, if you saw what Scott wore that night on New Year's Eve, this past Avid NYE show in Charlotte. He was wearing one that looked, had the similar font and what have you, which is my favorite kind of design. And we decided to kind of upgrade it. So this is like kind of an artist rendering. It's not the final version of the patch, of course, but it's going to look similar to this. And we wanted to incorporate some of David's artwork into the design as well, because it's just fitting. He's like
The skull's perfect.
known for his skull art, right? And in all of his wonderful
Yes.
paintings. And so we decided to incorporate that into the design. So this is going to come on a Richardson trucker hat. We got to give a shout out to
Best
Steve
trucker
Powell.
hat.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Best
the
trucker hat in the
trucker
world.
hat,
And
the trucker
Steve's
hat.
been
Yeah,
working on this.
yeah.
Sorry.
And so Steve Powell is helping us, right? So I definitely want to give him a shout out. So we're going to have a store where online where you can buy these for a flat price, and just the proceeds are going to go to David, quite simply, after
Yep.
we cover our costs. And then we're not stopping there. We got a few things. I think we should just roll through some of these things. We're
Roll
also
through
going
it.
to do some raffles, because we want to. We graciously have had, as we've been talking to people behind the scenes, everybody seems to be raising their hands, just kind of like want to be a part of this or want to know how to help. So
Yes.
one of the ways, by the way, I think you wanted to make this point of how can people help, just spread the word, right?
Definitely.
So I think spreading the word is going to help once we launch this thing, and we'll tell you more about that at the end here. But let's cycle through some of the other items.
It will be easy to spread that. We're going to make it easy for folks to spread the
Yeah,
word too.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but we'll
So
get to that.
one way will be this video, but we're going to do some other stuff as well.
Right.
I want to show this quilt. This is a handmade quilt by none other than my wife, Kimberly Boyles. She's a quilter, and so this is sort of her homage to David's art. And so
Awesome. So awesome.
yeah, I'm blown away.
She actually does this by hand, like piece by
Yeah,
piece by hand.
yeah, these are all
And
squares that she does have some, like, I don't know what you call them. She has some special, what do you call them, rotary
tools.
blades or something. I don't know. There's
Okay.
I'm going to say the wrong thing. But yes, it's all by hand, and then she designed actually the quilting pattern. I'm going to zoom in if I can here and show you that. Like if you look at like in the eyes,
Oh wow.
um,
Oh wow.
it's not just some random pattern. It's actually she it looks so cool in person. Like she measured all this out, and then after putting together the whole skull design by hand, had the quilting actually match sort of like this really cool pattern. And then it's got a really striking, patterned solid back on it as well. So
How are people going to be able to get this?
we're gonna raffle this. So this is gonna be one of one. You're gonna be able to buy, increments of tickets. We're gonna try to
Sure.
do it where you can either buy, if you want to buy one ticket, you can, but if you sort of buy, a couple of different levels, it'll sort of multiply your chances of winning. So we'll have a website devoted to that, to put in your orders for raffle tickets.
That's
Uh,
very cool.
let's talk about what's next. I'm just gonna push
There's so
forward here.
much.
Look at that!
Hey,
Holy wow!
love it.
What is this? This is new. You just showed me this today.
Yes, that's Pete Schroet, the lighting director for the Avid Brothers, reached out to him, and he's obviously a friend of David as well and wanted to help out and be a part of this. So he sent me that picture, and the name of the painting is Numbskull 2. It's acrylic on canvas, 12 by 12, 12 inches by 12 inches, and it's going to get raffled off, and someone's going to be able to take home an original Pete Schroet, awesome skull painting. And again, the skull theme, kind of
Yeah,
goes along with
it is.
everything
I
else.
love it.
That
I
was an
love it.
awesome idea for Pete.
I
So
love all of Pete's art.
thanks to
I
him for
mean, I love
yeah,
all of Pete's. I mean, Pete's art is so striking as well. Um, and Pete and David, for the uninitiated, have worked together on putting together art shows in Greensboro, North
sure,
Carolina, where Pete had an art space called Mega Mega Mega, a project
right,
where
yeah, David Dave was a
bringing
part of that.
together a lot of those local artists from the area and featuring all of their work, and David's and Robert's actually artwork
Yep.
there. So really cool, really cool. I'm happy about this. Thank you, Pete.
Yeah.
Um,
Awesome. So happy.
so the next item is
Ooh,
really
wait, what is that?
like dude, exclusive holographic skate deck by John Crow.
One of
So
one.
one of one. So this item, John just kind of, I said, "Hey, John, do you have anything laying around?" And he's like, "How about a skate deck that I've wanted to make for a long time that I've never sold?" Or or I'm probably not saying it right. He said he had this idea of like creating, this special skate deck that he didn't even know if it would work or not. So he literally went off this week and had this made, and he's like, he also sent
It,
us
w-
a. Let me see if I can pull that up.
it worked.
Um, no, it worked. You're right about that.
That
Uh,
is amazing. People are going to clamor over that thing. Oh, do you have a video of it? Whoa,
I do have a video.
sneak
So
peek.
this will give you the
Oh,
full
yeah.
effect. Look at that.
Yep. Very cool.
So one
That
of
is
what
so cool.
I think people are going to go gaga. He
Yep.
of course is known for featuring the Avett brothers, of course, in some of his artwork, and so a lot of people probably know him because um, you might have one of these on your Christmas tree. Uh, he makes art that he has turned into Avett Brothers themed Christmas ornaments. And so these are the featured ones from, I believe, this year. He made two different color variations. And the cool thing is, when you put them on your tree, I didn't even know this in advance. You put them on the tree, and there's translucent elements built in, like resin pieces, where the lights shine through them. It's so killer.
Oh, that is cool. I think I remember seeing that when he released them. Now, is that slip mat part of it too, or is that just there for
Yes.
show?
Okay. Yes. So he's throwing in the slip mat as well. So if you're into vinyl, you're
I
getting
love
hooked
that
up.
slip mat.
So we're gonna do these items, I think, as a lot together. So this will
Okay.
be again a raffle, and these are numbered, signed and numbered, limited edition. I think
The ornaments
Christmas
definitely were.
ornaments. Yeah, the
They were
Christmas
like
ornaments
of
are.
20, I think, per
Yeah,
color or
yeah, yeah.
something like that.
Yep. So very cool. They're gonna come as a set along with the slip mat for your
Nice.
turntable. So thanks, John.
Yeah. Thank you,
Um,
John. John's awesome.
and if you want, like, seriously, go to John's website. He's got so much cool stuff offered for people.
Yeah, not just Avid stuff. There's so much on there that's very cool. He's a very talented guy.
Such an artist. All right,
Yep.
let's talk about. We're gonna do a
Ooh,
Well, we realize that trucker hats might not be for everybody, even though, hey, who doesn't love a good trucker hat to wear to a show? But
you're talking to
Mary,
Gant there.
yeah, right. Mary Hawking, one of our friends and one of David's friends, right, decided, hey, let's use some of David's art. She brought this to life, and she's working with Steve Powell on this as well, right? To have T-shirts that will be made available again as an item you can just buy, and then the proceeds go to David. So
Right.
it's not a raffle item. So it's very similar to just buying merch. So it'll be offered alongside the trucker hats.
Very cool. I
Um,
love that design.
okay,
What
so
is that?
Jeff Herzog, who's another good buddy of ours in the Avett community.
Yep.
Um, he has this really cool, this is a cat lamp poster, and it's been framed with a bunch of the stickers and patches and whatnot from various. A lot of them are like New Year's Eve, either patches or stickers. I know that the skull, if I can zoom in on that for a second, I have this skull patch. It's so cool. And I actually put that on a pair of jeans where I'd worn a hole in it this past December. But really just like another kind of one of one because of the way it's packaged, I guess, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
so
I
cool.
mean, that's a big frame because that poster is 18 by 24 and
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
small in there.
And this is
That's quite a
I
thing.
love this cat lamp design. I think
Cat's the best. She's
I
awesome.
might be wrong, but I feel like this is the VIP poster from that New Year's Eve. So this is from 2019 at Greensboro Coliseum. And again, like, I don't know, lovely. Thank you, Jeff, for this. Another
Yeah,
one
that's
of one
cool.
item that we'll be raffling off. Let's see what we got next. Now, how cool is this?
Hand not included.
Hand not included, jewelry not included.
Yeah,
However,
you're right.
you will receive, if you win the raffle for this exclusive item, this print, which is I guess it's a still image from May It Last, the documentary that was made by Michael
Definitely.
Bonfiglio and Judd Apatow. And this is that moment where they're like walking across the property, Jim Avett and Seth. And it's that moment. Jim looks across the field and says he never fails to look back and appreciate what we got. So I think a lot of us, this is a nice sentiment right now for this, I
And
think. And it's really,
and everyone watching just said
yeah,
along, "Me too, pops. Me too."
me too, pops. Right. You're absolutely right. Oh man. I got to go rewatch that movie again for the 47th time. I
Yeah.
never get tired
I
of it.
Nope.
In
Watch
fact,
it
you
every
know
couple of
what?
months, I think.
Really, the movie inspired a lot of the phrases that Kim and I did on these party hats because we had one
Right?
that we put wet wood onto because
Ye
and everybody was like asking us at first, like, what do these hats mean? And I'm like, hey, you're losing your Avett Cool card because these are all like
You're
the
right.
from the film.
Deep
Like
cuts,
Wetwood
deep cut
was
lines.
one of my favorite moments when they were horsing around. And then what was it? Was like inconsiderate? Not inconsiderate. It was like something hillbillies.
Oh, right, yeah.
I made one that had that silly phrase on it for Red Rocks as well. So anyhow, really cool stuff. Thank you so much, Jeff.
I wonder
What
what the
else?
is it a poster? Is that wood? Is that metal? You can't really
I
tell
don't actually know. I don't have the item in hand yet. We'll find out. So when we list all
in
these
hand.
raffle items, we'll make sure we have all the details so that you can know sizes and whatnot. And
Right.
yeah, it's gonna be cool. Um,
That is very cool.
this
I've
is
never
not
seen that
all
before.
though. We don't have visual aids for everything, but we do want to give a shout out to all the people who have um, been able to give us some items to show. And so we're gonna have an original painting by Abe, right? What do you want
Abe,
to say
yeah,
about that?
he's gonna do what he said was, and if he doesn't stick to the plan, that's fine, because Abe's art is awesome.
Yeah.
He said he was gonna do a painting of David,
Oh
and
wow.
when he does paintings of singers, I don't know if you've seen his work where he has like the long tongues sticking out with
Yeah, yeah.
flowers coming out of their. I'm guessing it's gonna be something like that.
I love
Uh,
it.
I think I'm gonna be bidding on that one because I love his art, and I would
Well,
love to have an original painting by him.
nothing against us bidding on our own stuff, I guess. Anyhow,
Hey, the money's all going to the same place. But, yeah,
so
Abe,
I think we
thank you so
have,
much for that.
let's see, what else do we have? I think we also we're gonna have some handmade glass art by Crystal Brown.
Very
And
cool.
so if you haven't seen her work, I mean, it's incredible. I think you're probably wearing a teardrop necklace, right? So
I
she's
am gonna
famous
see it.
for doing that, and those are all throughout the
Made of
Avid
glass?
community. I actually have an item I want to show of hers as well. Um, when the self-titled album came out, she was inspired. I think we all, like you and I, debated the meaning of this symbol on the album art, and they were actually, nominated for a Grammy, which we'll talk about later. But
Yep.
Crystal made the glass art, which is going in and out because of my green screen thing, but really cool stuff. Um, and you can check out. I have an Instagram reel actually on my account, which you can see. You can see her actually making one of these, which is really cool.
It's very cool. She's so talented,
Um,
so
she
awesome.
is, she is, and then it's selfless for making something. So this will be a one of one original design item. Um, we're also going to get in. Well, speaking of Robert, and this is Robert's artwork behind me, right?
That is. That definitely
So
is.
it's not going to be well. And I'm trying to figure out. Okay, if I can do my arrows right. What is going on with this guy with the suit on back here?
I don't know.
It's like
Got like a horse body.
he's got a
Was it a
horse for a
centaur?
body. It's a centaur, but he's wearing like a business suit. I don't know. We got to ask him about that. Then we got some chickens clucking around. Um, the painting is not going to be this painting. This was like for an upcoming tribute concert that's going on in Gastonia. It's actually
Yeah, I don't know what
David
he's gonna
Childers
send.
tribute that's happening. I think coming up pretty soon. But check out his Facebook for that. But he's going to contribute, I think, an original painting of his own for this.
That's the plan.
Now, Papa Avett, what's he doing?
Yeah, I reached out to him. I saw he had commented on one of David's posts, saying if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. I'm here for you. And so I reached out to him like, "Hey, Jim, this is what we're doing. Can you help out?" And he's like, "Absolutely, I will donate a painting." So I don't know what it's going to be. He may be creating it tomorrow, maybe something he's already done, but he's supposed to be sending over an image, and someone's going to get an original Jim Avett painting, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think so. So let's just end it by saying this: like, we've got a bunch of surprises in store here. We just were so excited to talk about this. We wanted to put it into the show this week and make sure everybody knew to like keep your eyes peeled for the actual launch, which we're aiming for the end of next week, so roughly a week from now.
Yep.
Hopefully on Valentine's Day, we're going to be able to unveil the website and the different ways that you can either buy raffle tickets for some of these exclusive items, or buy trucker hats or t-shirts or what have you. And we expect it's not going to be all at once either. We're going to kind of phase some of these things in. So some of them, we'll have some initial things on the Friday, and then we'll add in things later. And we expect, to keep this going for a little while. I don't know, not terribly long, but we want to phase some items in and give a chance for everybody to kind of be a part of it, if you will.
This could be huge. I really hope it is. And if you want to help spread the word, reach out to us. And but just look for the posts. And once the posts are out there on all the different places we're going to put them, it'll be easier to spread the word because you'll see it everywhere. And just help out if you can.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
bid, bid on the stuff. The money's going to a great place, to great people, and we really want to help them out. So this is awesome. Ryan, you've done
yeah.
a ton of work on this too. Really appreciate it.
I'm not taking on. I can't take. I don't know. I don't want to
No, I
take any.
know.
Like, it's a group effort. So everybody that's helping, Mary, uh, Steve, you, Todd, my wife, Kim, like, we're all in it together. And honestly, we hope more of you will join us and make it great. So thank you.